Hey guys, this is Woodcraft CZ. In this video, we're going to be going over the Wood Repair Pro Kit from Wood Repair by Beau Consult, if that's the correct way of pronunciation. There's a few videos online about this, but I just wanted to go over my way of showing things, getting a closer look at the utensils involved. So let's get this box opened. So here we have a look inside. Let's start things off by having a look at the spur nozzle. I'm guessing this is going to be a consumable and eventually will need replacing from time to time. Okay, so here we have the glue sticks. This particular pack is all black. You can see the name, the code and amount of sticks per pack. This was an add-on I opted for and doesn't come part of the kit. The next pack is an assortment of colours that does come with the kit, with a similar layout of name, amount of sticks, size, and a picture of the colour assortment. Up next is the cold press block. It's made of solid aluminium and has a plastic handle. This part is used for cooling the glue by placing it on top and drawing the heat out. It also flattens and pushes the glue in. Here we have the blade or scraper. It's just a wooden ergonomic block with what looks like a steel blade. We use this for cutting the excess glue off the surface. A simple 80 grit sanding pad and a smaller aluminium heatsink, I guess for the smaller odd job, where the larger block would be too big for it. Okay, and this is an interesting one. Here's the rubber stick saver, but from what I've gathered, it's really used for transference of colour when you're changing stick from one colour to another. And up next, the piece de résistance, the machine itself. So let's take a closer look at it. As you can see from before, the nozzle. We're going to unscrew it and have a look inside. It seems to be made of a quality steel and rubber housing. Inside we get a look at the heating chamber. Up next is the temperature control. It has positive stops at certain temperatures. In the literature it doesn't tell you what temperature to set it at, but on the glue packs themselves it has it written down. From what I've seen, it's usually 160 Celsius. Next we have a look at the back of the machine. This is where the glue is fed in. And also we have a stroke adjuster. This sets how much travel you want when you depress the trigger. Turning it anti-clockwise lengthens the stroke, and turning it clockwise shortens it. We have the usual specification sticker on the side. The stand, this is the large version. There's a smaller version that comes attached to the power cord. I can't see any real use of this being able to fold out other than taking it off, as it doesn't stand. And here's that small version. It goes onto the unit here. Okay, and last but not least, the power switch. It's illuminated, so when it's plugged in and switched on, it'll glow a red colour. The trigger itself has a nice ergonomic feel, with just enough resistance to feel good. The large stand also offers very good support for it. It won't easily fall over. Okay, so back to the box, and here we have some literature. Inside the literature, it's a basic itinerary and basic guide, and on the back, just some handling advice. It also shows the two variants in glue gun, the corded and cordless. The next card shows the benefits of using the wood repair kit, and on the back of that, the different colours the glue sticks come in. And finally, among the literature, comes the safety spec in an array of different languages. And conformity declaration. As mentioned before, here's the temperature advised to set the glue gun. Okay, I guess the only thing that's left to do now is use it. So before purchasing the kit, I really just thought it was a regular glue gun that used regular coloured glue sticks. Upon opening the packet, there was immediate differences, but I wanted to compare the two. They both have a different diameter by, I believe, 1 mil, the glue stick being 11 and the wood repair stick being 12. Also, it's obviously longer, but what you can't see is the feel of each glue stick. It has a less tacky feel to it as opposed to a regular glue stick. So turning the gun on, we're going to wait 3 to 4 minutes for the unit to heat up to full capacity. Now that we've reached the desired temperature of 160 degrees Celsius, we're going to start depressing the trigger and pumping the glue stick through. From what I can tell, the heat chamber is fairly large, as it took a lot of the glue stick before it became visible at the nozzle. Okay, so glue's out, and time to get the heatsink on it. I'm guessing this just pushes the glue into the crack and also draws out the heat so it cools down quickly. So now we're ready to trim off the excess. It's a pretty effortless cut. I have to say, first time seeing the results, I'm pretty impressed. I'm not sure exactly what I was expecting, but I think this exceeded it. The finish was smooth, it looked great, and this is before I even sanded and finished it. From what I can tell and see, there's no imperfections. It's a very smooth finish. So eager to try it again, I found some more scrap bits of wood. Trying out the smaller heatsink now. And the results speak for themselves. I have to say, after using this and seeing the results obtainable, this will definitely be a go-to for wood repair in my workflow. Before I would use epoxy, but that can be time consuming and extend the processing time greatly. This is quick, efficient, and has great results. So while I'm continuing to do some knot filling, I'd like to say a bit about the company. They seem really friendly. When I reached out to them and asked them where I can purchase this unit, they gave me a list of suppliers that were close to me. I found one, and it was a very quick and efficient service. I was always very reluctant to try this type of wood repair, as I had some preconceptions. I thought the glue would look out of place and stand out to the wood. But after trying it for myself, I really couldn't be happier with the finish. I hope you guys can see this in the video. I liked the result so much, I thought I'd try some different applications, so I decided to change the colour of the stick and try it out. Now this brings me to cutting the sticks. It definitely isn't as easy as I initially thought, but it's no big deal. With the right tool, it's very easy. What I'd recommend to anyone looking to buy this kit is get yourself some garden prunes. Luckily, I had a really old pair laying around, as I know I couldn't use the wife's. Adding snips. So, time to add the different colour stick. Now, switching colours, they advise that you use the stick saver. This is to transfer the remnants of the old stick to somewhere you can save and use later, while flushing the chamber out from the old colour. As you can see, the stick saver has 6 chambers, 4 large and 2 small ones. I'm not sure what the small ones are for, but the large ones are where the leftovers are going to go. And to do this, you put the nozzle in the 2 tiny indents in the side of the stick saver. My technique needs work on this, as when I filled it up, I trapped some air, and you'll see in the results, they're not perfect. I think this is most definitely user error, and with a little bit of practice, I'll get it perfected. So, time to try the new colour and a slightly bigger knot. As you can see, there's some slight remnants of the old colour black. But if I'd perfected the transfer process, I think it would have been all gone. Not to worry, it adds a little bit of character. So now time to try it on a more unnatural void. I wouldn't say I'd choose it over a wooden plug, but it's an option. This definitely gets a thumbs up from me. So one thing to add, the company recommend you don't keep the sticks in the unit. So what I'm going to do is just cut it off with the snips and then store it in a sealed bag. So when it comes to removing the stick saver sticks, don't do what I did and let it cool down fully. It was still warm to the touch and just proved a bit more difficult to remove than if they had been cold. On the whole, I'm very happy with the unit. I will definitely be using this in my workflow in the future. If you're looking for some sort of wood repair, I would say definitely give this a consideration. So to finish off, guys, I just wanted to show you how it finishes up. I've sanded 120 through to 240 on this particular piece of walnut, and I'm about to apply a beeswax and mineral oil finish, just to give you an idea of how it shines up. So this brings me to the end of the video. If you guys have found it useful and enjoyable, please consider giving me a subscription to my channel, as it helps a great deal. And while you're at it, smash that like button. And hopefully I can bring you some more videos that you find of use. Until then guys, take it easy. Happy woodworking.